Pride Month, to most of you, it was just another session of every company changing their logos into shitty rainbow versions of it, and weirdos protesting the right to be recognized as cats and dogs or some other weird shit. But to us, this Pride Month was the final days of our lives. It was a few days after Pride Month started, and after the shit hit the fan. The virus spread to many counties and suburbs, leaving a trail of rainbow chaos in its wake. The virus in question, B1M60, was an airborne and waterborne pathogen that affects the person's limbic system. Basically, the part of the brain that makes people violent and sexual. It can also be spread with bodily fluids or an infected simply touching a non-infected person. The virus in question takes hold after 70 seconds. Afterwards, the infected becomes a raving sexual menace, attacking anything on sight. So imagine every horrible sexual fetish from every dark web site happening in your backyard. Torture, rape, you think it probably happened several times already. I was one of the unlucky fucks who stayed inside his bedroom all day playing video games. The shit all started when news broadcasts started showcasing attacks on pride events, blaming most of it on homophobic attacks from some Bible thumpers or lunatics high on drugs like fentanyl and flakka. How it started, I don't fucking know. Maybe a few of those degenerates got a little too close to some monkeys again, and yes, I am talking about the animal, you racist. As the days went on, I would hear strange, fucked up stuff late at night like, I want to shove feces into your eye socket, or it's just a dog, why the fuck do you care? It was sodomy of the worst kind, and the screams. Holy shit, the screams were the worst, from all walks of life. Some were that of animals, others children, and even some from old men. I would not dare look outside and would instead tape newspapers against my windows to block out the horrific sights. It got so bad that even the corpse-in-chief himself had to declare a national emergency, as well as blaming the whole shit on Trump, but that is to be expected. The doctors would advise us to avoid people with rainbow-like tears and creepy perverted faces, as well as being covered in feces. It was a whole lot to take in, and even harder to process. What kind of monster would deliberately create a plague to turn people into sexual deviants? But you and I probably know the Democrats had a hand on it with their secret virus labs scattered around China, and with the combination of budget cuts and lazy-ass Zoomers running the show. It was only a matter of time before one of them leaked the shit into their home country. Before the government decided to go 1984 on the entire internet, a lot of my friends theorized it was GLAAD's attempt to brute force acceptance of transsexuals, pedophiles, and other deviants I will not share in this story. Now, I said before human stupidity had a factor in this because they figured having it piggyback off a flu would be far more effective and quicker than indoctrinating the next generation in our schools. With a virus, it would ensure not only the current and future generations be affected, but also the older ones. Sad to say, the fuck me silly cocktail they created in their labs worked a little too well. And it's hard to maintain a society when everyone is eye-fucking each other, when they should be doing shit like making sure our nuclear power plants don't get neglected and undergo a meltdown. Anyway, back to my sorry ass. It was good for a while. The government would force us to stay in our houses and put us on emergency basic income and give bonuses to all of us if we did surveys so they could sell our secrets to the highest bidder for a lump sum. Then we would use the credits we would accumulate to have an Amazon drone airdrop rations onto our balcony until the infected below died of exhaustion and starvation. However, the problem with that was the infected, or degens, as a lot of us like to call them, were smart and would eat and sleep just like we did, and eventually they staged an attack on every Amazon distribution center, cutting off our supplies for good. After that, it was a matter of how many of the food buckets we bought at the time would hold out until we needed to venture out and look for food. As if that wasn't bad enough, a lot of my friends reported the tap having weird colors in the water. Like most of us, we were smart. We figured the degens infected our water supply, so we had to rely on bottled water for most of our daily water intake. And yes, showers were out of the question. People instead switched to rubbing themselves down with rubbing alcohol and other non-infected liquids we could get our hands on. Safe to say the price of baby wipes skyrocketed due to high demand. Of course, we still had to endure the constant taunts from the Degens down below, telling us that it is only a matter of time before all of us are happy. Now, a lot of us destroyed our staircases long ago, so many of the multi-story apartments were secure for a time. Of course, some of the Degens still knew how to use ladders, and a lot more would try climbing the walls and storm drains to get onto our balconies and do God knows what to us. Of course, this is when we took to breaking down our balconies and reinforcing our sliding window doors so it was harder for them to get in. I still remember the sight of one of them trying to get into my house. The Degen in question was a blonde chick, and damn did she have the nicest tits I ever saw. Of course, then I looked at her nightmarish face. She drooled rainbow shit through her jagged teeth and bloodshot eyes. Of course, my luck decided to pitch in, and she lost her footing and fell to her death to the horny, ravenous orgy below. After our power and also our internet went out, it was safe to say we were all fucked, both literally and figuratively. One by one, my friends would log off one last time to commit suicide, given all hope of rescue was lost. Others would willingly jump off their balconies to join the forever sinners, only to miss a few of the Degens grasping at them and breaking their bones on the concrete floor below. As for me, I tried to wait it out as long as I could. I would even resort to recycling my piss to stretch out my water rations. And let me tell you, it is hard to take the taste of piss out of water. If you find this recording, I am probably either rotting in the bathroom after I gave myself the shotgun mouthwash treatment, or down below getting all my holes plugged in and looking for some other sad fuck that was dumb enough not to commit suicide. To the people who made this happen, I hope the deepest pit in hell opens for you when you inevitably eat shit. In this case, literally. And for any survivors listening, don't waste your alcohol making Molotov cocktails. The sick fucks will burn for a bit and go right back to fucking and taunting. Use it to get shit-faced instead. It's probably better to use it to disinfect your wounds, but who the fuck are you kidding yourself? You will die just like the rest of us. Anyway, it's time to turn this thing off before I run out of tape. Have a nice day, sorry sons of bitches.